You don't lose your independence because of a fall. You lose it because three critical muscle groups have been quietly weakening for years without anyone clearly explaining it to you. If you are a senior, over 60, listen very carefully. Decline doesn't begin with severe pain. It begins with very small signs: standing up a beat slower, needing to push off with your hands when leaving a chair, hesitating when stepping sideways, or the feeling that your legs no longer respond even though you still walk regularly. And if you're thinking, "I walk every day, so why do my legs still feel weak?" This is not your fault. Here is a truth many women doing exercises for women over 60 have never been told. Walking is excellent for cardiovascular health and mental well-being, but it is not enough to preserve strength, bone density, and balance once you pass age 60. That is why so many women who care deeply about senior health and stay active still feel as though their bodies are slowly shrinking. The problem is not lack of effort. The problem is the absence of the right kind of signal the body needs, especially senior strength training and strength training for women over 60. In this video, I will share 3 core movements, not complicated exercises, not gym workouts, that I call the minimum set of exercises for seniors to keep bones strong, to maintain balance, and most importantly, to preserve your ability to stand up using your own body. And stay until the end. Exercise number 3 is a simple test, but it has caused many women who thought they were still fine to fall completely silent the first time they tried it. Why are these 3 movements more important than general advice? After age 60, the body does not weaken randomly. It follows a very clear rule. Muscle is lost faster than bone, and strength is lost faster than muscle. Medicine calls this sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. On average, women over 60 may lose 1 to 2% of muscle mass each year, but strength can decline at twice that rate. What makes this dangerous is that you don't feel the muscle loss itself. You only feel its consequences. Standing up becomes harder, balance becomes poorer, reactions become slower. And when muscles weaken, bones weaken as well, because bones stay strong only when muscles pull on them every day. This is the critical point many people have never had clearly explained. Movement without resistance only keeps you busy. Proper, targeted resistance is what sends the signal to muscles, bones, and the nervous system to stay alive. And the most important truth is this: your body can still hear that signal even after age 60, 70, or 80. Precisely because the body can still respond to the right signals, the most important factor is not motivation, but who is witnessing the final outcome of that gradual weakening every single day. In orthopedic clinics, doctors do not meet patients for the first time at the moment they lose balance. They meet them after weakness has accumulated long enough to become injury: hip fractures, vertebral compression, tendon tears, or a fall that seems minor but leads to loss of independence. What surgeons pay the closest attention to is not the age written on paper, but the ability to perform very basic movements: standing up from a chair with control, maintaining balance while shifting weight to one side, and the body's reflexes when standing on one leg for just a few seconds. These are not fitness exercises. They are movements used as clinical indicators to predict fall risk, bone loss, and recovery time if an adverse event occurs. That is why when doctors recommend very simple movements, they do so not because they are easy, but because they target the exact systems that determine your long-term independence. From that medical perspective, another truth gradually becomes clear. Many women have been doing the right things, but still not doing enough. You walk every day, you stay active, you are not lazy, and yet your legs still feel weak, standing up still comes with hesitation, and your balance still feels unsteady. That is not because you are doing something wrong.
It is because enough is no longer measured by step count. After age 60, enough means muscles strong enough to pull on bone, a nervous system fast enough to react, and a body stable enough to protect itself when balance is lost. If a movement does not challenge all three of these, then no matter how often you do it, it remains just movement, not protection.
So, which movements are truly worth your body listening to after age 60? Not many, just 3, and let's begin. Exercise number 1. Sit down and stand up from a chair. This is the movement most women consider too ordinary to matter. But in orthopedic medicine, it is one of the most important tests of independence and strength. Every time you stand up from a chair, your body must engage the quadriceps, the glute muscles, the deep hip stabilizers, and the nervous system coordinating all of them at once. When these muscle groups weaken, you begin to push with your hands, lean forward, or hesitate before standing. That hesitation is not laziness, it is your brain sensing a risk of losing balance. How to do it correctly? Sit on a sturdy chair, no wheels. Feet hip-width apart, flat on the floor. Lightly brace your core as if preparing to cough. Lower yourself down over 3 seconds, lightly touching the chair. Stand up over 2 seconds without locking your knees. Start with 8 repetitions, 2 sets, 3 to 4 days per week. You do not need to feel exhausted, you just need to do it correctly. Exercise number 2. Standing side leg raise. Most falls do not happen straight forward. They happen when the body shifts left or right during a misstep, a turn, or while avoiding an obstacle. This exercise targets the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus, muscles rarely talked about but closely watched by every doctor. When they weaken, the pelvis subtly drops with each step. Load shifts unevenly onto the knees. Balance reactions slow down. How to do it correctly? Stand beside a chair or table, one hand lightly touching for reassurance. Keep the standing leg straight, torso upright. Lift the other leg out to the side 30 to 40 centimeters. Lift for 2 seconds, lower for 3 seconds. You should feel this in the side of the hip, not the thigh. 8 to 10 repetitions per side is enough, slow, controlled. And now, the exercise I asked you to stay until the end for. Many women say, "I walk every day, I'm fine," until they try standing on one leg and cannot hold it for 10 seconds. This exercise is not just about balance, it is a test of the nervous system, how the brain, muscles, joints, and inner ear communicate. When this reflex slows, a small stumble becomes a fall. Confidence disappears before real strength is lost. How to do it safely? Stand near a table or wall. Shift your weight onto one leg. Lift the other foot just a few centimeters off the floor. Eyes forward. Breathe normally. Hold for 10 seconds. If that's difficult, start with 5 seconds. If it's easy, gradually increase to 15 to 20 seconds. No cheating, no rushing. And if this feels difficult, that is not failure. It is valuable information, the starting point for change. 3 exercises, 3 systems: standing up, balance, reflexes. No gym, no equipment, no risk. Up next, I'll talk about the most important thing of all: how to do these exercises safely even if you have knee pain, back pain, or have fallen before.
Before you think, "These exercises sound good, but my body isn't what it used to be," this part is especially for you. If you have knee pain, reduce the range of motion. With the sit-to-stand exercise, you do not need to sit all the way down. Lower yourself only to a pain-free level, then stand back up slowly. The muscles still receive the signal, and the bones are still protected. If you have back pain or a disc herniation, prioritize control, not speed. Keep your spine upright. Gently brace your core as if preparing to cough. Do not bend forward. Do not rush. If you feel dizzy or have fallen before, always use support. Lightly touching a chair or wall with one hand does not make the exercise less effective. It helps the nervous system feel safe enough to relearn how to balance. If you have had joint surgery, osteoporosis, Parkinson's disease, or diabetes, start with less than you think is necessary. One set, a few repetitions, once per day. The golden rule after age 60 is not try harder. It is to train just enough so that you can train again tomorrow. And when you train this way, the real change does not happen first in the muscles. It happens in the trust you begin to rebuild with your own body. When your body has been reassured that I am safe, the next thing you need is not more knowledge, but a clear path to follow. Week 1. Awakening. Every day, one set for each exercise. Sit to stand, 6 to 8 repetitions. Side leg raises, 6 repetitions per side. Single leg standing, 5 to 10 seconds per side. The only goal, feel the correct muscles working without fatigue. Week 2, reinforcement. Train 4 days per week. Increase to 8 to 10 repetitions for each exercise. Hold balance for 10 to 15 seconds. You begin to notice standing up feels easier. Walking feels more confident. Week 3, activating real strength. 5 days per week. 2 sets for exercises 1 and 2. Hold balance for 15 to 20 seconds. The body begins to respond faster when you lose balance. Week 4, regaining autonomy. Choose 3 to 4 days to maintain long-term. You do not need new exercises. You only need to do them correctly, consistently, and sufficiently. This is not a workout program. It is a roadmap to keep you standing strong in the years ahead.
And once you can see a clear path for the next 4 weeks, the most important thing right now is not how much you can do, but whether you believe you can still move forward. Many women over 60 have said the same thing to me. I thought it was already too late. But the truth is, the body does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be reminded that it is still being used, still being trusted. Each time you stand up without hesitation, each time you step sideways without holding your breath, each time you stand on one leg and realize, I'm still here. That is not just strength, that is confidence returning. If today you see yourself in these movements, leave the word yes in the comments, not for me, but for yourself as a small affirmation. I am still taking care of my body. And if you want to continue, the next video appearing on your screen will guide you through an extremely simple exercise that helps women over 60 maintain better balance when turning or stepping off to the side, something many people don't notice until the moment they almost fall. Keep watching, not to do more exercises, but to better understand what your body needs next.